Hey beautiful! In this video I'll be showing you 3 simple techniques on how I fill in my brows, which one I prefer, which one's my favorite, and how to achieve it. Stay tuned. Hello! Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's JanayNcole, and here on my channel I encourage women through faith, beauty, and lifestyle. I know you're here to figure out, how should I fill in my brows? What products do I use? I'm so confused. Well, I'm here to help you out. Let's get started. Starting with the tools. Some tools I like to use that I think is necessary for filling in your brows is definitely a spoolie. Just a simple spoolie. A lot of brow pencils that you find in the store, drugstore or high-end, usually have spoolies at the end of their pencil. So you might just have a spoolie in your collection already. The next tool that I think is pretty essential for you to achieve filling in your brows is definitely some type of brush if you don't have a spoolie. This one's by Sony. It's really, really cute, simple, and compact. Definitely something worth trying out if you can't find a spoolie for some reason. And the last 2 tools that I like to use is a very fine, thin, angled brush, or a little tiny shader brush for concealer, or this one that I don't know where I got it from. I have no idea, but it's a really thick angled brush. I mean, I'm sure you can probably find it somewhere, something similar, and like a cheap Amazon brush kit or something. I don't know though, because Amazon brush kits are a lot better than they used to be, so who knows. But I had this for a very long time, and it's definitely a really good brush to help you fill in brows, and I'll show you how I use it in just a second. Okay, so now that I got you up a little bit closer so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to talk about the very first technique. So technique number 1. Technique number 1 is best used for people who have fuller brows, who aren't dealing with sparse brows, or who have gaps or bald spots or scars. These are for people who have pretty good brows and don't really need to do much. If you want to check out my how to pluck your eyebrows at home, hit this icon over here, because there should be a video that's already created on how I pluck my eyebrows at home. So first step, make sure that you already have pre-plucked brows, or you've got your brows done so your shape is already perfected and there. That way, when you get started to fill in your brows, it's easier, and we want it to be easier. We want it to be simple. Okay. So we're going to dip in some eyeshadow, which I like to use a darker, kind of medium dark brown. It's a little bit on the cooler end of the spectrum. What I'm going to do is look in my mirror. This is great for people who just want to use one product. I like to kind of start where my brows are a little bit thinner, and just kind of lightly, with a very light hand. If you want to place your hand further back on the brush handle, it will give you a lighter hand. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue brushing through. It's really, really great because you can really push that product in with this dense brush and really apply the product exactly where you need it. Do you see the difference? Undone versus done. Pretty good, right? And that's just one step and one product. You can use any brown powder product that you have already in your kit. So that's technique number 1. Technique number 2. Okay, so the next technique are for people who have sparser brows, people who need a little extra help, who feel like they have certain areas that are a little lacking, that needs some filling in, a little more attention. Maybe for people who also would like to help fix the shape of their brow. Key words here, fix the shape of their brow. So those type of people, this technique is for you. Like I said, if you're looking for those type of things to help fix your brow, to give it shape, to give it fullness, okay? If you have sparser brows or you have barely there brows, this technique is really, really spot on and good for you. So I'm using a Wet n Wild pencil here. It's a little bit thicker, and it's a dark ash brown. I'm going to match it to the best of my ability, but maybe a step and a half lighter than your actual hair color, just to make sure that it's not too harsh or too stark on your face. Consistency of the pencil is key. Some pencils are a little drier and more firm, while other pencils are a little softer or even waxy, and those type of pencils are great for dry skin people, and for oily skin people, the firmer, drier pencil is going to help adhere to your skin a little bit better. So on the opposite end, once again, oily skin may have problems with having products stay and longevity, so that's a tip there. So for me, also, depending on how much do you have to fill in your brow. Do you have to fill in your brow all the way through from start to finish? Or do you have to fill in your brow just a tiny little area that seems to be sparse? Are you focusing more on the shape of your brow or just filling in? These are questions that are great for you to ask yourself. What is it that I need? What am I looking for? Okay? So, for me, I like to get a shape, so I'm going to start working on this brow right here. And I like to kind of work a little bit further past the start of my brow. And I like to just kind of outline the bottom a little bit, give it some structure. Again, make sure that your brow already has a really nice structure, a really nice shape, that it's been groomed already. And I like to kind of feather it, put it on its side, and instead of like this and stroking through, I'm putting it on its side in the front and stroking up in the front, just to make it a little bit more feathered. Then I'll take it on its side, get some more light strokes in there, and then up top it needs a little more shape, so I'm just going to line it lightly. Use your spoolie, just brush it through. I tend to do my brows before my face makeup. I like to tend to do it before because I like to be able to clean it up with the foundation on the top of my brow and then a specific concealer on the end of my brow. Now I give it more of a structure and I kind of draw the area that is a little bit sparse. So this is the before, okay, and this is the after. Okay, so we're on to technique number 3. Okay, so technique number 3 is the pomade, brow gel, whatever they call it. So I use a very thin angled brush, and it's dual-sided, so it has a very small shader brush on one side and the angled brush, it's very thin on the other. Very, very thin compared to the other one we used for the powder product to do the very first technique. So this one is best for people who have sparse brows, okay, or thin brows. And it's best for people who prefer a bolder look, okay? You can make this technique look natural or more on the natural side, the less amount of product you use, but it still tends to look a little bit more bold than the other two techniques, okay? So I'm going to dip into this brow pomade, okay? Like so. I like to put just a little bit on it. This technique gives the least amount of control, but you can do the same thing. I like to start, once again, a little bit further out from the head of the brow because the head of my brow looks nice and natural. It doesn't need as much. So I'm going to work a little bit further back and just kind of start the part of my brow where I feel like I really need it, where I need the structure, where I need the areas to be filled in. So this technique is definitely not for one who is trying to get in and out the door. Build it up slowly. Light pressure. Always use light pressure and brush strokes. And I like to kind of sweep it lightly in areas that I need the structure. So that's the after, okay, and the before. Before. Once again, it's really important to figure out what it is you need. Ask those questions. I like to use a combination of pencil and brow. I like to use both. That is the quickest way for me. If I'm really, really quick, I'll use one or the other, the first technique or the second technique. But I like to use them in combination because I do have sparse areas in my brow and I do have areas that I need that extra structure, that extra shape, that I just don't have hairs there. And that is completely okay. That's normal. It's normal. It's natural. Just figure out what method is best for you. Those were the 3 easy techniques that are super, super simple for you to achieve to better your makeup routine. That's catered to you. I hope this inspired you, and I hope that you feel encouraged and that you can do it because you really can. I want you to feel confident. I want you to feel encouraged. You don't have to use one certain technique. Like I said, you can combine the 3 and make your perfect routine that's perfect for you, okay? I hope you know that you are chosen by God, and with Him, you are the special individual that He created you to be, okay? I just want you to know that. Let that sink in. You are special. You are chosen, okay? I hope you enjoyed this video. Until next time, bye!